You are listening to The Learning Curve with Miss Taleen. This is a space where you can feel empowered to think about education differently.
Okay, picture this. I'm 3 years old. I'm an only child. I'm in my bedroom, and I have a plethora of stuffed animals. I line them all up. I teach them lessons about reading, math, and I hand out blank pieces of paper to them. And then I collect them and I grade them. And this is my first memory of being on fire and really excited about being a teacher and just being a part of education. And I have known since that moment that that is what I needed to do with my life. This is my purpose on earth. And I have been pursuing education my entire life. I went to a school, a small school, but it spanned from preschool all the way through 12th grade. So when I entered middle school at about 11 years old, I had the opportunity to get elective classes, and one of the classes was teacher's aide. And so I've been working in classrooms on an administrative end, on the end of being able to help teachers out since I was 11 years old. And in addition to that, I have been, because I've known since I was 3 years old that I wanted to be a teacher, I've been taking mental notes and sometimes actual notes about what I liked about each of my teachers and their style and their energy and their charisma and what got me excited about learning. And I also took note of the non-examples of things that when I became a teacher, I would never do these things. And I've been piecemealing all of these mini lessons since I was young enough to remember that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And I take all of these things and I embody them myself. Now, at 21, I had graduated college, got my teaching credential. I was freshly 21, and I got hired as a classroom teacher at a traditional private school. And I worked in the private school as a classroom teacher for a few years. And then I moved to the charter schools, a public charter school, and been working in one of those on site since then. It has been about 14 years that I've been in education professionally at this point. And in that time, I've worked in the private schools, the public schools, and I've been a homeschool facilitator, which means that I was assigned a roster of students every school year, about 25 to 32 of them on average. And these students and their families would have me, a credentialed teacher, guiding their educational experience and answering questions for them, helping them stay accountable, and helping guide and monitor their non-traditional educational experience. And so I was opened up to this whole other world of possibilities of how education can be done. And again, with taking it in with all these examples and non-examples of what I would want to do. I became a mother nearly 7 years ago. I now have 2 kids, and I am homeschooling them myself also. And I do use a variety of approaches. I do some traditional things. I do believe paper and pencil is helpful, but I also think that instilling a love for learning is the number one priority here. So when I do that, I am using my kids' interests, their passions, the things that get them going in the morning, and I use that to guide their educational journey. And I try to do that with the kids that I work with on campus now. My current position for my day job is being an instructional coach, which means that I guide all the teachers on our campus, help them lesson plan, give them feedback, help them figure out how to group their kids or meet different kids' needs, how to adjust their teaching to match what their kids need, and what's going to get them on fire about learning, and what's going to make them feel more confident and build that confidence in learning so that they can be more successful and feel successful. Because when they feel successful and they know that you care and they know that you're invested, then that's what matters. And that's just the beginning. So I find myself wondering about how I can help improve the state of education. And I think to myself about what's in my control. Well, my passion's in my control. My ability to encourage others is in my control, and to have real conversations with you or whoever's working with me about what's working, what's not working, and what adjustments can be made to make sure that it works. I will make grab and go, easy to print resources for you guys. Classroom teachers and homeschool parents and everybody in between, anybody who's interested. And I can also consult. I can work one-on-one, and I can put myself right next to you and help guide you along the way with what's happening. But this podcast is a free resource to get you fired up about education. It's to get you excited about being able to lean into these non-traditional educational experiences. It's to help you realize that learning experiences are everywhere around you. Some of these things might come across as anecdotes, both personally and professionally, having conversations with other educators and other parents and other people who are invested in our future, because our kids are our future. We need to lean into that. And it is no simple task, but it is worth every morsel of effort. I want to empower you to take what you know and to grow and to pass that passion on to our next generation that we are in charge of. And I will also be trying to keep up with some of the legislation that comes along that affects our educational platforms, the new technologies that are coming out that can change the entire landscape of education, how we address these things, just having thought-provoking conversations and just fun ideas of what you can do at home with your kids or in your classroom with your kids too. So you're now in the front seat of the learning curve, and we're going to go through this wonderful journey together. I'm so excited. Thanks for joining me.